I'm Marnie, and I've been obsessed with documentaries.
And I'm Chrissy. I haven't, but I'm giving it a go.
We watch so you don't have to. Or maybe you do, and just want a completely fact-free synopsis.
Expect spoilers and tangents.
Because we're not here to educate.
We trade accuracy for entertainment every time.
This is the Gist Project. I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
On the subject of Sean-Diddy-Puff-Daddy, Sean-John-Combs.
Yeah.
All right, so Moon, you have let's imagine you have inordinate wealth, similar to Sean Puffy Diddy Combs.
Yes.
Where and ill-gotten in his case, but we can put that aside.
Okay, ours is legit.
Ours is legit.
Earned.
Correct.
Yeah.
Would you dress any differently?
I would dress like I don't know what I would call it. Concert, crochet, camping, chic.
Okay.
I have that much wealth. I'm not working.
You're right.
I'm
okay.
probably doing a craft project.
Yeah.
And I'm going to every concert I can. Also, I just love Duluth Trading Company.
You do. I was
honestly,
thinking about you in the shower.
Like my concert shirt, I've crocheted a sweater and throw the Duluth Trading flannel on it.
Okay.
Because what am I doing?
I don't know.
Not a lot.
Right.
Again, I'm crafting. Maybe I'm puzzling. I'm volunteering.
Are you?
I am.
Okay.
Somewhere. But what I'm not doing is having to work in a professional space.
Right.
And also, I have seen those shows with people who do make a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
Like Selling Sunset.
Yes.
Realtors, right, in California. And they have money. And what they wear does not look comfortable.
Not at all.
So it's a new genre of fashion.
Right.
But
you would like work against the grain. Like, I'm so rich, I can be ultra comfortable.
I don't understand why that's not happening.
Sure.
And maybe, when you see the stars, they're just like us.
Yeah.
Somebody's their sweatpants.
Yeah.
It'd be like, well, I'd do that a lot.
Right.
A lot.
I don't picture you in sweatpants, though.
Oh.
Out in public, though?
Oh,
With your crochet?
No, so maybe I'd have nice pants.
Okay.
For out in public.
Okay.
But don't you think I could get, I don't know. How much am I spending out in public? How much time?
Well, you may have to hide from the paparazzi to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So for that rich, I could wear my jeans that I like a lot.
Exactly. I mean, you don't have to worry about ruining your jeans. Also, why do you think we don't wear jeans? It's not like jeans are uncomfortable.
They're not terrible.
No.
I don't know. I guess I can't for my job.
True.
I don't even have casual Friday. So I think of jeans as weekend wear.
Mm-hmm. And kind of dress up weekend, right?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, although I am in public. Okay, so my public wardrobe would be more like a hockey mom.
Okay, so similar to now.
Very similar to now.
Similar to now.
It's not
more of the concert T-shirts.
And it's not necessarily... I've not been on the pulse of fashion.
Neither of us
in my life. So I wouldn't know what to wear, but it would be more about like, if I have all this money,
mm-hmm.
I'm obviously going to more and more concerts.
True. And
I'm buying clothing that I like, and that's Duluth Trading and Birkenstocks.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting when I pondered that question, and what prompted it was the tile, actually, and we'll get there.
Okay.
But when I looked at my version of the tile, I saw Sean Combs in this absolutely gaudy, hideous jacket. And there was this part, and well, I guess I may as well just skip to it.
Yeah.
We'll get to my version of the question, right? There was a big blob on his jacket, and I was like, would you wear that, Jeff? Would you wear something with that god-awful, like, Rolling Stones mouth? And Jeff goes, that's a football. And I thought, who would wear that jacket? It was just so ugly. It was oversized. I don't know. So I thought to myself, what would I wear differently? And the answer is not much.
Right. I mean, that is the ultimate answer, right?
And And then but
For
I
us.
say that, and then I think, but is that really true? It's like, would I buy more of anything? Not really. I do have to admit that I had some measurements taken so that I can have some shirts made to fit me because I have an interesting build.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you modify your chest,
Uh-huh.
you know? So
Wait.
it's like, I'm going to have some shirts made. So they're quote custom made.
Yeah.
But so I might have more of that.
I guess that's what I see you as.
It was,
Classic.
but that's the same now. Like I don't wear
No, I agree
colors,
with
right?
you. Yeah.
So in other words, you and I get really, really rich, and we're going to be the people who say nothing changes.
Nothing changes. No, we're going to go buy them apple bottom jeans.
Boots with the fur.
Yeah.
It's a wrong rap guy, though.
It is, but it brought me back to that era.
It did. It did.
A little bit.
Nice tie back. Okay, so
thank
we're
you.
here to talk about Sean Combs' The Reckoning.
Yes. This is big on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
This was released in 2025.
Yeah.
Now, you alluded to your tile. I saw black and white of Puff. That was it.
Really?
Yes.
Just black and white of him.
Him. Yeah.
That's boring as
I
fuck.
know, and of course I won't be able to find it again because I don't take a picture, but I will find it.
We will.
It'll be my thing.
Yeah, we'll come across it. I saw Sean with Cassie, and had I when I looked at the picture, I had no idea who she was. I just wrote down that she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah,
Like
she was. She is. I mean, she is. She is
clearly a beautiful celebrity couple with a hideous jacket.
So, did you know? Obviously, we know who he is.
Yeah,
but I didn't know more than like the hits or what I've heard on the radio.
Moon, I had next to no understanding of what was happening, with the exception this last summer. It was a Brie, Ben, Jeff Marnie conversation where I was alerted to the fact there are these things called freak-offs.
Yes.
That's it.
That was huge. Oh, I knew that there was a lot of baby oil involved in freak-offs.
Right.
But before that, I was never his fan. And you know, Bobby, so this is 4 episodes.
Yeah, this was a long one. So for those who haven't seen it, we may go on a rambling path, but quite honestly, we're just following the path of the documentary. No indictment of 50 Cent, whom, by the way, I absolutely adore.
Well, and yeah, I'm okay with this, but Bobby's like, you know, in and out, and he's like, oh yeah, I've always hated Diddy.
Really? It's like, what has there been to hate in the past?
He did not. He thought that Diddy got Biggie killed.
Oh, so he was in on the hot goss.
He kind of was like, oh yeah, like talking to me like everybody knows this, and I'm like,
really?
No, not everybody does. Yeah.
No, I had no idea until watching.
So Bobby obviously knows this rap lore.
Yeah, he does.
That I don't.
Well, what's funny is that when we got into this, and we'll go into the synopsis, but I have to share this because when we were watching, Biggie starts rapping "Gimme the Loot,"
yes,
and Jeff was like, Bobby's song, because Bobby can rap that entire thing,
yes,
beginning to end. It's impressive.
It is still a story in our marriage because I said, "Don't do this, Bob." I've never heard him do it.
What?
I never had. And so when he's like, I got this, I was like, are you sure? Like, it was a garage party at the first. It was a night of debauchery. And all of a sudden, Bob's going to go up and rap Gimme the Loot by Notorious B.I.G. And I was like, okay, this should be interesting. He was spot on. Yeah.
Flawless.
Props to Bob.
Flawless.
Yep.
Execution, Bobby. And I figured that this is what he, similar to me and Dusty Springfield with Son of a Preacher Man that I suck at. I figured this was like Bobby's go-to song, that like, I'm going to get up and this is what I'm going to rap. And he surprised you.
Well, he doesn't really have, he does have a go-to cover of the Rolling Stone. But,
okay.
But yeah, this isn't one I was just like, oh shit.
I mean,
but man, he got it.
Yeah. Did it tickle you in funny places?
Oh, yes, it did. I was his #1 fan.
Well, exactly. That makes 2 of us. Yeah. Okay. So Moon, summarize these 4 episodes.
Well, This is a documentary, and I found this so interesting. Produced by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson.
Yep.
There's footage of Sean Combs before his arrest. Like somebody's just following him all over. And like 6 days before, 5 days before.
Yep.
And then there's footage of those past stories and like Sean's sordid history.
Mm-hmm.
Every episode notes that in 2025, he was tried in federal court on RICO sex trafficking violations of the Mann Act. He was found guilty of 2 courts of transportation to engage in prostitution under the Mann Act. He was acquitted of the other charges, sentenced to 50 months in prison with time served.
And when I hear with time served, I assume that means he actually isn't in prison, but he is, right?
He is.
He's sitting in there.
When I hear time served, I feel like he's already been in jail a couple of days or...
Okay, you're right. I would add from a synopsis standpoint, they did a pretty decent job of bringing to light like his past, his present, and also this underbelly of his behaviors that I think was completely... to the general public, most people didn't know. Those in the 90s, I'll speak for myself. When he became big, late 90s, I had no idea about any of this stuff.
I didn't either. And doesn't he seem like so, like, slippery snake?
Yeah, but I guess looking back, he was just always that, he always just had like 2 or 3 words in a song. I just figured that he was just kind of the dumb friend.
Well, I think
like if you're rapping, it's just me going, yeah.
And that's how he was. I mean, it almost seems more like he inserted himself into these songs and such.
Yeah, but like in the 90s, I thought that was by design. Now we come to find out this was all like this grand scheme of taking over, and he actually didn't have any talent.
No.
And then preyed upon people who did.
Yep.
Okay, so let's get into it. So cast of characters. Tell me a little bit about our peeps here.
Sean Combs.
Yep.
Puff, Puffy, P. Diddy.
Does he go by Sean-John as well?
That's his fashion line.
I just wonder if that's his middle name.
Maybe.
Okay.
Sean-John-Combs.
Yeah.
He has Kirk Burroughs is on there, and that's a good source of information.
He was a kind soul.
He sure was. A lot of people seemed like they were.
Yeah.
So Kirk was a former president of Bad Boy Entertainment. That's the label Sean and Kirk make together.
Yes. Yes.
And he co-founded Bad Boy. He is Puff's and
Misa?
Yep. Their first child is named Justin.
Yes.
Kirk is Justin's godfather.
I mean, and talk about how Puff treats him. So they found Bad Boy.
Yeah.
Based on leaving Andre's thing, but I guess we'll get to
Uptown.
that. Yeah, Uptown Records. Okay.
Puff has I found this interesting too because I don't know anything about. I don't know. Puff's mom, Janice, owned 75% of this company. It was in her name. 25% was in Kirk's. Bad Boy.
And do you think it maybe makes sense to tell our adoring public why? It's because, so early in Puff's career
at Uptown,
he was a party promoter.
Yes.
What does that even mean? What do you know what it means?
You know the people who hand out cards in Vegas? That was him. No, I have no idea.
Exactly. But it's like, how do you make a living doing that? Is it that you get a certain number of people to come and pay their entry fee? Like that to me, it made me tilt my head a little bit. Like, what does it mean to be a party promoter?
I don't know the answer.
Okay. So he was a party promoter, promoted a party at a basketball game.
Celebrity basketball.
Which became an absolute riot of activity. 9 people die. He was going down for it. So as a result, in order to shelter his money, he put Bad Boy in Janice and Kirk's name.
Yeah.
Janice had 75%, Kirk had 25%.
And that, I mean, like, I feel like that's where it starts. They alluded to, sorry, audience, we will be all over the place.
Yeah, count on it.
Tim Patterson is another character who I really liked. He lived in the same duplex or building or area as Puff in 1977.
Yeah.
He recalls teaching Puff how to ride a bike. He knows that Janice was really, really strict.
Yeah, nasty. Like,
Yeah,
he said
gave
that
him
he had his
beatings.
beatings,
Yeah.
but then he said he couldn't watch or see.
I think he's the one who described Puff's dad died.
Yep.
And whether he was a gangster or Puff just pictured him as a gangster.
I don't know. It sounds like Janice kind of led on to this fantasy life.
So when you don't know who your dad is, I mean, you know who he is, but when
Right.
he's dead and you've got this image in your mind, it seemed like that's who Puff wanted to be like.
Right.
Is that image of a smooth gangster mafia type guy.
Right.
And I think that explains a lot of his behavior in a way.
His mom dressed him up as it too.
Yeah.
Like, so kind of took her son and hey, we're all guilty of like kind of molding our kids in the way that we want them. Usually it's not into a gangster.
Usually not.
Right.
Yeah.
But in this case, she liked to put on the furs and the hats and dressed him up like this little doll and then beat the shit out of him, apparently. Yeah. So you're right. Tim lived above him. And what I got to say about Tim, good grammar, Marnie. What I would say about Tim is that both Jeff and I really appreciated his vibe. He had this like lumberjack, Rastafari lumberjack look to him.
Yeah.
He was very chill. I liked him a lot. You're right. Okay, so then we've got Janice, who, as the show progressed, did she age at all? I mean, it was like, she looked like a corpse.
Yeah.
Like a frozen in time corpse. Like she didn't really move much. I mean, and that's what happens when you get old, I guess. Yeah. But her face didn't look old.
Well, there's needles for that.
There are needles and thread. Kim Porter, who she's not featured in this documentary, but she used to be the receptionist.
And Albie Scher's girlfriend. But it seemed like Puff had a history of stealing people's girlfriends.
Yes. That was an early revelation in this thing where he would see someone's girl, wanted them, and then took them.
Yeah.
I mean, as if he can take someone.
And I don't know how he did, but he did.
Well, he and Kim were together. They had how many kids? So this is after Misa. So he had Justin with Misa, and then I want to say he had 4 kids.
It looked like it. I feel like there was a picture of he and Kim with 5.
Yes.
So Justin would be 1, and then Kim 4. Now, were they ever married?
I don't think so.
So this was like, and did it seem like Kim acknowledged, like, okay, you've got all these little
side hustles,
side girls.
Yeah.
But I'm your main squeeze?
Well, which is kind of... It moves from episode 1 to episode 2 with Kim because in comes Cassie.
Yeah.
So Cassie becomes the side piece, the consistent side piece. So Kim is the wife. And I think they said something about on the street where you have a wife and then you have a wifey.
Yeah.
I guess the wifey is the side piece, and that was Cassie. And you're right. Kim put up with it for so long. And then I think she was like, I'm out of here.
Yep.
And what's interesting about Kim is you don't hear about her perception on this whole situation. And you also don't hear that she was wronged necessarily. So you wonder if she made out with some of the money.
Yeah, maybe.
Because not many people did.
Now, it's going to shock you that I didn't research anything outside of this documentary. But I am curious. Like, it seems like he has a history of abuse towards women for sure.
For sure.
Even boys or men.
Yeah.
Young men. And I just wonder, is she one of the victims?
Could
Was
be.
she a person suing? I have no idea. But I don't think she would get I don't think she'd get away with not getting beat.
There's no way that she came out of this unscathed. That's for sure.
And maybe that just is. And obviously everything we're saying is a question mark. We're not accusing anybody of anything, but to me, it's like, gosh, if you're a wife beater, you're beating all the wives.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. There's everyone created equal. So as he's progressing and accumulating all of these friends, let's go back for a hot second.
Yeah.
Where he began, he and Tim grew up. He wanted to be famous kind of at all costs. So he approached this guy named Andre and said, I will be your intern. And that's when he did the party promoting. It basically went to go get him anything, ran in order to bring him back something on time. And it was at that point that Andre said, all right, man, he wanted to be the A&R guy, which was artists and recording.
Something like
artists and development.
Okay, so he was named VP of A&R, artist and development.
Okay.
But I think the A&R is something separate, but
yeah.
I don't know. We're going to just go with
We'll go with it. So he gets Jodeci. And here's where you got to so this is where I have to hand it to Puff. It's like in the 90s, Jodeci did become a thing. And he did kind of create this like branded hip hop experience where these people became something that people wanted to be a part of, that they felt was attractive. I mean,
and
he
at
created
that
some
time,
hot stuff.
oh yeah, he had the eye and the ear for that too, right? He really styled them. It sounded like he would change up the songs to, and he got the formula right. He did create a lot of hits.
Yeah. And I mean, if we're going to give him anything, Mary J. Blige,
his next project.
I love her.
Yes.
I love her. So one of my favorite songs is called Family Affair.
Well, and I don't think Mary J. Blige, she didn't take any shit.
No, she didn't.
I'm going to almost guarantee that. I guess I don't know her personally, but.
Well, and nothing was mentioned about money being stolen from her.
No.
But he took advantage of, I would say, more like street gangster people. So there's like the Jodecis of the world who he propped up and created almost like hip hop boy bands. You had Mary J. Blige, who became an artist, like a very prominent artist in hip hop. Then he starts to go out on his own, right?
Jodeci and Mary J. Blige were uptown artists.
That's right. Okay, so he wasn't able to steal from them.
In 1992, he was. I want to say 1992 or 1991. He was fired from Uptown.
That's right.
And Andre said, you know what, I'll give you this Christopher Wallace.
Yes, hence why he got Biggie Smalls.
Yep.
Thinking that nothing will come of Biggie.
Boy, he was wrong.
Boy, was he wrong indeed. Like, talk about a legend.
Yes.
In fact, when I've been kind of like regurgitating this, or speaking with whoever will speak to me about Sean Combs, it is funny how people say, I didn't really care about Puff Daddy, but I sure did like Biggie. Bobby being one, right?
Absolutely, and that is how I mean, I guess that is exactly how I felt. Like, that was a really good creation.
Yes.
Well, obviously, Puff didn't create Biggie.
Well, he brought him up. I mean, I think he gave him a platform. What is a fair thing to say is Christopher Wallace, aka Biggie, maybe wouldn't have had the fame and fortune had it not been for running in for Puff Daddy.
Yep.
However, he got him into some shit.
Yeah, so it seemed like Biggie and Tupac actually got along really well. And then it seemed like Puff couldn't handle that. He wanted to be like number one.
Well, he wanted to be like the rapper guy, even though there's no way that he could be because he wasn't good.
No, he wasn't good at that.
Tupac was good. Biggie was good.
And they were smart and they were innovative.
Yeah.
They were what the masses wanted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me this.
They got along.
I got to ask you.
Yeah.
Biggie or Tupac?
That's a tough question.
Yep.
I guess I'll go with probably, I think Tupac was maybe a little bit more, I don't know.
Mainstream?
Yeah. No, I don't know. But I'm leaning towards Tupac.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
We can share him. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
if you want Tupac, I'll
okay. All right.
If we're double dating and I have to go with him, yeah,
Okay.
I will. I think we'd get along.
I think so. I mean, if you think about that double date, because you're right, they were friends. They were friendly. They rapped together. They like did things, and it was Combs who got in the middle.
Yes, he fucked it all up.
He fucked it
And
all up.
Bobby's like, he just knew. Like I said, like, oh yeah, Puff basically killed Biggie. And I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, this documentary blew my mind because I don't know
Yeah.
about you, this whole East Coast, West Coast thing, I thought that this was an age-old rivalry. Not so
Okay,
much,
I have to agree.
right?
Yes. I thought, oh, these are just gang fighting. I mean, we are talking rural Minnesota.
Right.
In the
We don't know
90s.
shit, right?
Of course, California and New York have these gangs.
Or just rivalry, and
Yeah.
maybe it's real, maybe it's not, but I thought it transcended the test of time. But no, it was because Combs inserted himself, created a rift between Biggie and Tupac. Tupac was shot at a recording studio
Yes.
under odd circumstances. In fact, he was shot, but his Rolex wasn't taken. So if he was robbed,
Mhm.
they certainly didn't rob him very well. So
Right.
I don't know. This is fishy. And it starts, and then so Tupac gets upset, rightfully so,
Mhm.
and has that song, I think it's called Hit 'Em Up,
Yes.
where he talks
Just go
mad shit about Biggie. And Biggie decides to not hit back, which I
Right.
really respect. He was like, no, like I'm not going to do that. And it was, and then Puffy makes him go to some music festival
that
in California.
he did not want to go to.
Right. He wanted to go to the UK to talk about his
Yes.
album
Yep.
with who was the
Kirk.
guy he was with? Kirk. Yes.
And Puff made him go because it sounded like his artist did not have any autonomy and
Right.
did not have control. They did not get like what they were due.
Right.
And whether that was contractual and they didn't like know it or whether it was withheld, I don't know the specifics there, but it just sounded like, I thought Biggie would be, obviously he was a huge artist, but you would think with that would be a huge paycheck
Yes.
and like the freedom to just kind of do what you want. And it sounded like, no.
That was a mind fuck for me.
Yeah. And that
For
was for
sure.
all of his artists, it seemed.
Yes. So we'd put Biggie in that camp, Mark Curry in that camp, Craig Mack in that camp. So there were like a number of people who I think have reason to absolutely hate this man. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, and we could go into the East Coast versus West Coast thing, which, by the way, Jeff said that I enunciate too much. He's
So
like,
what should
stop
we be
saying
doing?"
East Coast, West Coast. But Tupac dies,
Yes.
and it comes to light that there's a very strong probability that Puff paid the Crip guy who killed him.
Yes.
Crip or Blood? Yeah, no, Crip, because I believe Suge and all the others wore quite a bit of red.
Yes.
And Tupac was a member of that crew, so he dies tragically.
Keefe D.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who I think ended up standing trial for his death in 2023, which is, I had no idea.
But didn't he proffer?
He sure
And
did.
I was like, I know what that means.
Did you think of Teddy Baby?
I sure did.
Me
Yeah.
too. Me too.
Yeah.
And they actually gave a definition of what that meant.
Yes.
Didn't have to go Google it.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
he sure did give a proffer.
So Tupac dies.
Yeah.
Biggie dies.
Yeah.
This is where I was like, I am so naive. I
Me too.
can recall the Video Music Awards where Puff flitted around on stage with Sting.
Yes.
And I thought, what a moving tribute. Honestly.
Same.
And then I rewatch it and I'm like, okay, number one, who the fuck dances like that? Like It was
somebody without talent.
and oh, it just bugs me so much. Here you have Faith Evans, like Biggie's actual wife, and a very good singer. And then you have Sting. And this is an actual, like, talented person is dead. And it seems to be because of him. And he's flitting around on stage, like taking ownership. And then
and pretending like there was a genuine friendship and that he was genuinely sad.
Gosh, that bothered me so much.
Me too.
I was like, he is not your best friend.
It also kind of makes me think, like, it makes me question everything, because when that song came out, I wasn't a huge Puff Daddy fan either, but I really liked that song.
I did too.
Because I thought that it represented this friendship, because he was like a on Biggie's songs. And so I thought that that Biggie just kind of like let him in, because there's a lot of remixes. When you think of songs and compilations, multiple artists being a part of one song is not uncommon.
No.
So I kind of assumed that that was just like a gig or a thing that they had together, a shtick. Not so. No. As it turns out. And you're right. He was flitting around, and all I can say is that's probably how I would have danced too, because I have no talent, and I would have just been like flailing around, because he had no choreography.
I would have maybe made the decision to not dance around the stage when my best friend died.
Yeah, right.
Like, what? I just was like, this is all. What, rewatching it now? I'm like,
I know.
This is all really wrong. God, he got my blood boiling there.
Yeah,
and then the fact that that's exactly it. He capitalized on Biggie's death. Biggie was the talent. He capitalized on that. And he just kept going forward.
Well, what I also find, like, there wasn't a moment in time, and maybe this is just because the Diddy, oh gosh, I'm sorry, Fiddy.
Oh,
Fiddy only had so much time to fit into these 4 episodes. But I'm curious, like, if I'm Biggie's family, I'd be irate. What happened to all of his royalties? What happened to all the money that he earned?
Right.
It sounds like all of these artists were not paid. Not paid.
No.
So, like, when Biggie dies, this is the start of Puffy then essentially taking from people, stealing, and then not giving anyone anything and making them working horrendous hours.
So, and to be in his entourage, I feel like he paid for that. He'd take you on his yacht. He'd take you to hotels. He'd take you to restaurants. He'd probably dress you, right?
Probably. Maybe.
But you wouldn't have that autonomy or your own finances, your own means to buy the car, your own means to get the yacht.
Exactly. Like, but when you left, you couldn't order your own Uber.
Yeah. So that is just so manipulative and wrong, obviously. But that was really telling too.
Yeah.
Let's transition for a moment into his ladies.
Okay.
And the fact that he was a fucking asshole.
Well, yeah. I mean, now here's the thing. I wonder if there's just a little bit of a God complex that comes. It sounds like the way that he was raised into this tiny little paper gangster. Right?
Yep.
So he's not a true gangster. He was raised with means.
Yep.
He was curated into this little doll man. And then he became hard. And he was beat. So it's not like I don't know, like, I'm guessing there's some fractures up in
Well, and when you say God complex, he made a video with him on the cross.
Yes.
I mean,
he did.
I tell you.
I mean, which apparently some reverend guy said, no. And he went to great lengths to try to take it down, which I found very fascinating, because why do you care what that guy thinks?
Right.
If you don't care about what anybody else thinks, why that guy? But you're right. So the ladies, horrendous abuse.
Yeah.
Horrendous abuse.
And so we find this out. There's like 100+ civil cases.
Of not just women, to your point earlier.
Yeah.
And men too. Like,
and maybe not all the civil cases are sexual in nature. Like, I know there's some out there, I think, wanting to get their money or their due, but there was a ton of sexual allegations. And then they did talk about the freak offs.
Yep. Which, hey man, here's the thing. To each their own.
Yep.
If you want to have, so back to the Kim and Cassie dynamic, if you want to have an open marriage, open relationship, you do you. You have consenting adults doing the thing, fine.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you start to get wild, lace baby oil, which by the way, how do you lace baby oil with a drug? Don't you have to ingest the drug in order? Can it go transdermally?
It's topical, yeah. If you think about like Voltaren gel and stuff, yeah, there's all and lidocaine patches.
Oh, you're right.
So that's topical.
Okay, yeah. So these people show up
drug
for the freak off.
GHD. I think that's the date rape drug. Date rape drug.
GHD is also the sit-up machine.
Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong drug. GHB, maybe.
MDMH? No, that's...
MDMA is a different kind of drug.
Yeah, that's like ecstasy, I think.
Anyway, I think that whatever drug it was, I think it is
the date rape drug. Yeah. You're right. Maybe one of these days we'll get to the bottom of it. I would like a glossary of the drugs that were used, because there was something called Tussa that's like pink cocaine, that's like a mix of all kinds of stuff, like ketamine.
Yeah.
And so in the freak offs, they would do a number of drugs.
And we know this because Clayton Howard was like the escort
for 8 years.
For 8 years.
So was he just a professional so he must have gotten paid.
Yeah.
He was actually paid for his services, one of very few people. Go figure, the prostitute got paid.
Yeah. Well, you need him to be very, very quiet.
That's true.
You do. He cannot be talking about.
And he didn't.
All of this weird shit.
So for 8 years, every 2 to 3 weeks, he said he came and did things with Cassie, did things with Combs.
Mm-hmm.
And then they didn't get into the freak offs, which I was a little disappointed in. If I have a criticism, it's like, I kind of wish I would have known what happened with the royalties with the artists. I wish I would have known what happened at the freak offs. I had a couple of things that I was curious about, but the resounding feedback is that these freak offs were not consensual and there was abuse.
Well, it just sounded like days of sex.
What?
Like, it sounded like Cassie must have had UTIs afterwards.
Can you imagine?
No, I don't even.
Did they say that?
I believe I did hear that outside of this documentary.
Okay.
In the news.
I mean, you can only imagine baby oil and body fluids and skin cells and
just penetration over and over and over. No, thank you.
No, thank you at all. And I'm sure she wasn't chugging any cranberry juice.
No,
to make this go away. It was more champagne, more Ciroc vodka.
Yeah.
Right? So because there's the freak offs, and so there's like this lifestyle that's happening. Meanwhile, there's Diddy the mogul. So he's got Sean-John, which is his clothing line, and fragrance, it sounds like.
Oh, sure.
He's sponsoring Ciroc vodka, which I have to admit, Moon, I drank it shamelessly. I was like, oh, Ciroc is the shit.
Oh, well.
I know.
Sometimes we don't know.
Guilty. Yeah. I bought into the hype and I thought, oh, this doesn't give you a hangover. Wrong.
Psych.
Yeah, exactly. It does. So he had Ciroc. There were a number of things that he had his dirty little mitts in, and that was a part of the empire, which again, he gave to no one.
No.
Except maybe Janice in the form of plastic surgery.
Yeah.
And gowns.
Yeah.
I don't know. Misa, we didn't talk about Misa that much. He stole Misa from somebody.
Eric, I feel like.
Okay.
Yeah, Eric Sermon, maybe.
All right.
I might be wrong.
He stole from all over.
Yeah, because Cassie was Ryan Leslie's girlfriend.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So basically, and Kim Porter, like you said, I'll be sure. So basically, everybody he dated was somebody else in his circle.
Yeah.
He just made his rounds.
In my notes, I'll go back to this. Those freak offs, Clayton Howard says 2 days, 18 to 20 hours of like freak off sex time, I guess. And he got paid $6,000.
Okay.
And they collected his semen in a cup.
And while she ate it and did other stuff,
God,
I know.
I about turned it off there. I thought that's enough. And
as soon as they call that out, then they stop doing it, I guess. Which, okay, you're a nurse practitioner.
Yeah.
How does the body actually have that many orgasms over and over and over, or like do that? I mean, what is physically happening?
I have no idea.
I mean, I don't get it.
I don't either.
Isn't one enough? Maybe even 3?
Yeah.
An hour?
Days worth?
I don't get it. You wonder how strong these drugs were.
Well, I think that plays a lot into it. It has to. Because I don't know how I don't know.
How long could the body like physically take on this toll? Now they talk about when people are high on cocaine or crack, or whatever, like for hours on end. I mean, just think about what that does when you come down off of that.
Mm-hmm.
So as you mentioned, how this thing started out with Puff Daddy in a hotel, here's where I would like to bring us back to what happens to the body when you consume that much stuff. He looked like shit.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, his face.
Wow.
Puffy.
Yeah.
Puffy, like inflamed. Just, and for somebody so rich, that hotel was not very exciting.
No, not one bit.
It looked like a Hyatt that I might stay at for work.
Yeah. And yeah. And you could tell he was losing it. What really bothered me was the messaging at when he was talking to his lawyers on the phone.
Yeah.
It was like, you've got to cover this up.
Right.
It wasn't like,
I feel bad.
Not at all. And he's like, you gotta swing this differently. This is a PR situation. Not like, man, I didn't do this. This was more like, I did it. You got to cover this up. Like, say it differently.
Which he did.
And they did.
They did. And they were like, honestly, for what he was faced with. Now, this is where I go back in the summer when this was kind of all going down. And again, I have no idea what was happening because I don't pay attention. But when this was happening, like he had all kinds of PR people out there talking to vloggers. So he played it, quote, I'm going to use air quotes here, right, in the sense that he manipulated the narrative.
Yes.
And he got away with so
I think
much.
He did. I do too.
50 months. How many years is that for? 4 years. 4 years for 100+ counts. Now we don't know how, there's Cassie with 10 years of abuse, versus maybe somebody who got bumped in a club. I don't know. Like I'm not
there. And there's that Aubrey who didn't have a clue she was raped. Well, she says she doesn't.
And she said that she's stuck because if she comes out knowing that she doesn't remember, she discredits people. Yeah. But if she doesn't come out, she discredits people. So I felt really bad for her that she was somehow stuck in this nebulous, like, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. And on the subject of Aubrey, did you know that he had these TV shows with these made up bands?
I don't recall that.
I've never heard of any of these. Like, I wrote them down. I'm never even going to remember them. But like,
Danity Kane.
Yeah, Danity Kane.
Yeah.
There was another. They all started
Dirty
with
Money.
D.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of these.
What
people.
I found interesting was Kalina was one of the 2 women in the Diddy Dirty Money.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
The other one was Dawn.
Yeah. And Kalina had asked him for money or help or something at one point, and he said no, he wasn't able to help her with, like, she was going through a bad divorce, something like this,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And then he calls her when he's in hot water, and it's like, I need you to say something good about me. I need you to say you didn't see any of this stuff. And I think she
did it. See, this is where I like.
But like, it upsets me so much because I didn't at first. I'm like, she's not going to because he didn't help her,
right? But then she did.
What?
I know. So honestly, out of all the characters, and I really hate saying this because I'm sure she suffered, like she obviously suffered at the hands of this man. So I'm not going to use the H word, and I'm not going to say least favorite, but out of everybody, she made my head tilt a little bit where like, you know, here's this guy who couldn't help you in your hour of need. And then he's obviously like one of your best friends, Dawn, is saying these horrible things. I guess if you don't remember, you don't remember, but then to come out publicly, I don't know. I think she like did him a favor when she really didn't need to.
No, and I think Kirk is a redeemable person. Not that he was bad at or anything, but I think he totally came to the conclusion that he was a little bit complicit by turning the other
cheek.
Yeah. Being blind to some of this stuff.
Well, and he not only had to sign over his 25%, so he never got his money. Then he was fired later. I don't remember the circumstances.
I don't either.
Kirk was fired. Tim was fired.
Yep.
Mark Curry was like kicked out. Craig Mack was kicked out.
It seems to just be Puff and Justin, his son.
Yeah.
Who he like kills people with and does drugs with?
I guess.
Because didn't they like shoot somebody in a bathroom?
Yes. Did the person die?
I don't know if he died, but that was with Lil Rod.
Yes.
Was a good producer who they screwed up.
Sounds incredibly talented.
Yep.
With multiple instruments. He says, you've got it.
Yep.
Come with me
on this yacht.
Right.
And it feels like he was held hostage on the yacht.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, because he said something as Diddy was doing his best, which was awful, to try to rap. And I think he said it took them 7 months to get 8 chords.
8 bars.
8 bars. Oh, remember when I talked about Barbender? 8 bars. Yeah. To get 8 bars because he's that terrible. He was correcting him and he's like, never do that again, man, never. Yeah. So like, just imagine how you felt, how you were treated. And here's what really got me. He said that he was there for 2 Thanksgivings and 2 Christmases. And at the very end of it, do you remember what he was paid?
I don't know.
I do. $29,000.
Yeah.
$29,000 to help Puff Daddy produce an album. Like $29,000. That it blew my mind. Now, one could argue, hey, did you know what you were getting into? But no, nobody deserves that. And I think that he preys on people who have talent and also need. And so Lil Rod talks about growing up on the street and like gunshots were no big deal or that he heard them. So covering these things up, I just think that he preyed on people who didn't have legal expertise at their beck and call. I don't know. It was
he was an abusive person,
a monster.
Yeah, I didn't like him at all.
No,
I felt like I didn't like him at the beginning before I knew any of this, and I really don't like him now.
I would say that I liked some of the songs he was associated with. Is what I was never like, ooh, I love Puff Daddy, but I loved some of the songs that he in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is the way that I would describe him. Okay. We didn't even get into Capricorn or like Capricorn was his chief of staff for like 10 years.
For a long time.
And she was wildly discredited toward the end of this thing.
That does make me upset.
Yeah. I mean,
didn't he make her go with him to like somebody's house?
Yes.
Like he kidnapped her and it was like, we're going to, because
Cuddy.
Because
Cassie was hanging out with this Cuddy guy and said, you knew, why didn't you say something?
We're going to his house.
Yeah. And I'm going to kill him.
Yep.
And then luckily that didn't happen. But then I think he told Cassie that I've kidnapped Capricorn.
Yeah.
For this.
And I'm going to kill her.
Yeah. What the fuck?
And he gets away. He gets away with it.
He does.
He does.
So Kirk ends up being homeless.
Yeah.
He was kicked out of the industry, blacklisted in a sense, is the way that he described it. There were a lot of people who lost at the hands of this man.
He was destructive.
Completely. So, I mean, Moon, who were your favorite people?
I did like Kirk a lot.
Me too.
Everybody but Puff, basically. I mean, Clayton was fun. It's like, gosh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Sex work career.
Yeah, he was upfront about it.
But I thought Kirk was a really good storyteller.
He had a humanity about him.
He did.
There was a depth.
Yeah.
Same thing with Tim, I'd say.
Agree. Yeah.
I also really liked Mark Curry because he had some great quotes.
Yeah.
He was a good one. Anybody who redeemed themselves?
I would just say, like I touched on it a little bit, that Kirk, in a way, because it just seemed like he admitted, like, maybe he should have done something sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't have turned that blind eye.
Yeah. I'd say Keefe D. Like, he actually came forward and was like, yeah, I did some shit. And I am going to come forward about this at probably his own peril, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's like the code in being a gangster is that you never rat out another person, right? Like, you don't snitch. So the fact that I mean, not that I want to celebrate snitching, but at least he brought some light to what happened in this horrible scenario. Yeah, and hated, we kind of know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna say, I don't like Kalina. I don't envy her.
Right.
It seems like she kind of was in a tough situation.
Yeah, but man, these are like hundreds of women and you're kind of letting us all down.
Yeah, right.
Because it does seem like this actually happened.
I would agree.
It doesn't seem like, oh, he touched me on the shoulder and it made me feel uncomfortable. This seems like, yeah, he was gross and disgusting.
Right. Well, and he videotaped it all. That was another thing that we kind of forgot to mention.
Yeah, he was drugged and raped and videotaped.
Yeah. Right. And it'd be curious, where are all these videotapes? Mm-hmm. Because the only footage we got was of him assaulting Cassie in that hotel room. I mean, beating the shit out of her.
And they got the jury to change their mind there.
I know. It was odd. Okay, so man, we could really keep going down rat holes because if there's feedback I have, it'd be nice to really deconstruct this in, kind of early life, business life, give him some credit for the movement he created, but then like, what the fuck happened in these freak offs?
Yeah.
Any quotes you take forward?
I don't know that I got one, to be honest. I was kind of enthralled in this thing.
Okay.
Did you?
I sure did. I got quite a few. All right. So Mark Curry was the source of quite a few quotes.
Okay.
This is what I liked. So he was sharing with Puff his feedback where he was rapping, and everybody was like, yeah, man, that was hot. And Mark Curry said, that sucked. It doesn't sound good and it makes no sense. There you go. Was his feedback for Puff's rapping. And then another one was, everyone who's been around Puff has almost been to prison except Puff.
Yep.
That's quote number 2. Now, Capricorn said, Puff was a disorganized chaos that I understood, which says a lot about her childhood. And then here's the one that from Puff Daddy himself is, I can only compare myself to the Son of God. You feel me?
Jeez.
Says no one.
Says no one.
Right? I mean, I don't care if you're Christian, Buddhist, whatever, you kind of know the significance of that.
Right.
And what he meant, and clearly how disassociated from reality he was.
Well, again, he was up on that cross in that video.
Exactly. Yeah. Need we say more? He also had the audacity to say, I set the market for my people. Now, my people, strong word, right?
Yeah.
And then also, I set the market. Like, talk about taking credit for so much and everything at the same time. Like,
but I wonder what his charity foundation looks like.
No shit.
It just,
yeah.
People with this inordinate amount of wealth and it can't even pay their employees and those who are making them the money.
Yes.
And let alone talk about bringing people up. No, he doesn't.
Well, at the very end, this is, this really got my goat. At the very end, it was clear that he had fallen from grace. Therefore, he went back to Harlem and was making his publicity rounds.
Yeah.
So, like, going out in public, taking selfies, slapping hands, giving hugs. And the first thing he does, or what was captured on film, was his disdain and how he felt like he needed to take a bath, a really hot bath. Give me some hand sanitizer. Like, I'm disgusted touching all of these people. Now, on one hand, I kind of agree. Like, having that much contact with the public is probably a little disturbing.
Yeah.
However, the correlation between like where he was and with whom he was with, you can't ignore. Like, he was no longer with a bunch of celebrities having his freak offs with this sanitized baby oil laced with MDMH and whatever acronym we want to say. He was out with public with people who love him and adore him and supported him. And he gets in and the first thing he says is he wants hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man. Like, oh.
We won't do that to our fans.
We won't do that to our fans. No, we're going to love them unconditionally.
Yeah.
Because everybody has a story, and for these people to like support him against all odds, and that's, you're right. Where is his charity? Where is his payment?
Yes.
Okay. Well, anything else you want to share about Puff?
No, I don't. I mean, I feel like we covered his assholery and
yes.
I hope he gets sued more. I don't know.
I hope
he
so
gets some due justice.
Yeah.
More than this 50 months crap.
The problem is that I don't think you can be charged for things that you're
double jeopardy.
Right? Exactly. Double jeopardy. There's going to be a lot of that. Well, hopefully everybody escaped and he becomes a has-been and ends up on Dancing with the Stars.
That will be the payment.
Right.
Will be the justice served.
Well, there you have it. You may have picked up on a fact or two.
Or just convinced yourself you did.
Either way, that's the Just Project. Never educational, but always entertaining.